it's worth, I thought Barrios overtook Pacquiao on the scorecards in that final round. 7 rounds.
Please, don't tell me that I saw what I think I just saw. Please, don't tell me that Mario Barrios just came up short against a 46-year-old, washed up, depleted, nothing left in the gas tank, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Please do not tell me that, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not tell me this. I'm about to lose my motherfucking mind right now if Manny Pacquiao becomes the new WBC welterweight champion of the world. In 2025, a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao that's coming off of a four-year layoff and a loss and some terrible exhibitions. If this motherfucker comes in here and hold up. Those scorecards came back quick.
After 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecard. Judge at the ringside, Max DeLuca scores about 115 to 113 in favor of Mario Barrios.
7-5 Barrios. Don't tell me this is a draw.
Judges at ringside, Steve Weisfeld and Tim Cheatham both scored the bout 114 to 114. Majority draw.
Hey, yo! Them niggas got a draw.
The champion retains his title.
Man, yo! Hold up! Yo, they just saved Barrios' ass. Hold up. Majority decision. 114 from both judges. One judge had Barrios winning 7-5. Oh my God. Holy shit. They robbed my goat. Oh no. Tell me it ain't so. But I want to hear what Pacquiao got to say. I thought I won the fight. Close fight.
You're a 46-year-old man, and you had stamina.
I cannot believe it.
Just work hard work and discipline, everything like that. And I have to.
Oh my God!
What more do you think you could have done so that it didn't come down to the hands of the judges? What more do you think you could have done so that you wouldn't have had it come down to the hands of the
I
judges?
cannot believe this, yo.
I'm trying to find a way to finish the
They
fight.
might have did Pac-Man
my
dirty,
opponent is
man.
so tough, it's very,
They
it's
might have
not
did
careless.
Pac-Man
They
dirty.
throw a punches combination and with
Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get
defense.
settled in
It's hard,
before we start
getting
cooking.
hard, but I
Y'all
just,
go ahead and hit that
moving
like
around
button,
and
y'all.
counter punch, power punch.
This is one of the great performances in the history of not only this sport.
They
but
took
all
that shit away from Pacquiao. Let me know.
Take from this as the disappointment of this
Oh
draw
man, we about to
and time passes.
fry Barrios, bro.
I think,
This
it's,
nigga
it's inspiration
is
to,
the most trash
like
fighter in
old
boxing right
boxers
now.
that,
You are the
they
worst
have
champion in
discipline
the
and
sport
hard
of
work.
boxing right now.
You can still fight, and and I'm so thankful to God because without that, I'm not God is the source of all the strength and what help that I have.
This nigga Pacquiao about to leave that fight without a scratch on him. Nigga, you said Barrios is worse than Rolly. Nigga, Rolly will stop Barrios. I promise you that. Rolly need to go ahead and get that. He need to go ahead and lock that fight in. That nigga Barrios is easy work. Easy work. I don't know why they saved Barrios, man.
What will you do now? Will you fight again?
This nigga, yeah, Barrios, you gave this nigga Pacquiao confidence to come back to boxing again. They just asked this nigga, yo, you plan on coming back? He like, yeah, I think so. That nigga should have left this fight like, hell no, I don't want to do this no more. I'm done. That was your main objective. To get this old nigga off the corner. But this old nigga gave you smoke. Holy fuck. Get up, man. Get up, Simba, get up. Holy shit. I didn't want my cat to hear what I'm about to say. I didn't want my cat Simba to hear what I had to say. Because this shit is about to get demonetized. All right, let's hear what Mario got to say. I'm gonna let him talk. You hear how he talking right now?
We still came in here. We left everything in the ring, and like I said, to my head, nothing but no respect.
How would you assess his stamina for a 46-year-old man, right, fight?
Oh, absolutely. It's crazy.
You hear how Barrios talking?
He could still crack.
You see how he just a nice guy? Like he just a nice guy. Yeah, he's just a nice guy, bro. Like, that's just who he is. He's a nice guy. Yo, Barrios, let me tell you something.
I just knew, I had to try to step it up to really, to solidify a win.
You won the last 3 rounds on all the scorecards. To enable this draw. And you win on one of the judges' cards.
You didn't expect me to be on? Well, I'm on. And we about to talk. I'm going to let Barrios say what he got to say, though.
Had some good legs, had a lot in the tank, and like I said, he had a lot of fight left in him. He'd like a rematch when you give him one. Absolutely.
No, fuck no. Fuck you mean another rematch, you hoe ass nigga. Oh my god.
Let's go back to ringside. Thank you, Jim. And this was the second fight where Mario Barrios won round 12 to salvage a draw and keep his belt. What a great night of action it was.
Jesus Christ. All right. All right, y'all. Y'all seen what the fuck happened. Shout out to my boy Tito with the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel. He said, when your pops be like 20 years from now, I'll whoop your ass. That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like a father and son sparring session, but the son never turned out to be like the father. That's what the fuck it looked like to me. You see what I'm saying? You know how, like, you know what I mean? Like, the father, like, he a known OG and shit, and you think because, like, he got a son that his son gonna follow his role, but his son a weenie. This nigga's son a weenie. That's who the fuck, that's what the fuck I seen tonight. All right. Mario Barrios. Few things. Besides you being ass, because you the worst champion in boxing right now. You a nice guy. I've never heard nobody say anything bad about your character. I've never heard you get into an argument with nobody. I never heard you catching any type of cases, legal trouble, none of that. I never heard none of that. You always seem to be a nice stand-up individual. And that's a good thing. You see what I'm saying? But you letting that shit trickle in the boxing, my nigga, that shit don't work. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. That shit cool when you greeting niggas at Walmart. That shit cool when you putting fries in the bag. Any type of customer service related skills, you will be the perfect role for that. You just a nice nigga, and that's cool. But in the boxing ring, that shit is unacceptable. I don't give a fuck if Manny Pacquiao a legend. I don't give a fuck if you grew up idolizing him, if you had his motherfucking posters on your wall or whatever the case is, nigga. This is a dog-eat-dog sport. And you should have understood that. Even though this is somebody you may idolize, he gotta fucking go. He gotta fucking go. He has to fucking go. What the fuck you don't understand about that? I'm sitting in here and I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. You look like absolute horseshit against Abel Ramos. You look shitty in a lot of your performances. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. You have not been looking good lately, bro. I don't know if it's the weight cut or you got that little bad. You got Brandon Figueroa. You fucking on Brandon Figueroa's sister, so you know what I mean. I don't know if she draining you or your share your energy, whatever the fuck the case is, or you got money, so you cool now, bro. You let this nigga off the hook, bro. Like there was no urgency. There was no type of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this nigga. Oh, I'm gonna make an example out of this nigga. This was your moment. This was your moment. You came off of a fucking draw to Abel Ramos, a certified gatekeeping ass nigga. They bless you with an opportunity to fight an all-time great that's on the decline. I'm watching this nigga Pacquiao box. This nigga legs is gone. This nigga's gone and he's slow as shit. Did anybody peep Manny Pacquiao? That wasn't the motherfucking Manny Pacquiao that I seen. The motherfucker get on his toes and he be right here with it. And then he, woo. I ain't seen none of that. Nigga, I seen a slow grandfather. This nigga looked like an in-shape grandfather. Throwing punches at you. Speed was not there. Reflexes was not there. Legs was not there. The athleticism gone. He looked like he had a little bit of power. He had some experience, nigga. But you was not doing that. Like, you didn't even take advantage of that moment. That nigga Pacquiao was food, nigga. Food. This nigga, this right here. This shit right here, nigga. Barbecue chicken. Look, like Shaq say, barbecue chicken, nigga. That's what the fuck Manny Pacquiao was tonight. And you let that nigga off the hook. Now, I watched you since the beginning of your pro career. The beginning of your pro career. You was nice. I remember when they was calling you the golden boy. You was nice. I watched you fight in the casino out in Bethlehem when PBC was first starting up, and you was doing your thing. You was fighting at like 130, 135. You was in the smaller weight classes for sure. You had fast hands. You was aggressive. You could fucking punch. I'm like, bro, this nigga the truth. You get some opportunities, you fall short to Tank. All right, that's Tank. You fall short to Keith Thurman. All right, that's Keith Thurman. That's a former unified world champion. All right, cool. But ever since then, bro, I don't know if the back-to-back paydays done killed your drive. I don't know what it is. I cannot call it. Maybe you just you just shouldn't be at 47 no more. Maybe your prime was short like leprechauns. I don't know what the fuck the case is, bro. But I'm looking at this dude, Barrios, bro. Barrios look like he don't even belong in there. If you watch both of these niggas, if you put silhouettes over both of these guys, you would not, on my life, you would not know that nigga is the welterweight champion of the world. Like, at all. He looked like a comeback fight for Manny Pacquiao. The nigga looked like a tune-up, and the nigga's the champion. What the fuck? Like, bro, I'm watching Pacquiao, bro. This nigga Pacquiao throwing punches like molasses, nigga, like no speed whatsoever. And Barrios, you could tell he the faster nigga, but he would not pull the fucking trigger at all. The nigga would not pull the trigger. And what pissed me off was when the nigga was letting his hands go, he was hitting Pacquiao. Pacquiao was there to be hit. You letting this nigga instruct the fight. Barrios hitting this nigga to the body, clean body shots, and Pacquiao like, yo, bro, chill with the low blows. It wasn't even a low fucking blow. There was some shots I seen that was not low. And you go ahead and be like, okay, and you tap this nigga glove. Nigga, fuck that. Nigga, what the fuck is you doing? Why is you giving this nigga respect in the jump, like in the ring? What are you doing? I'd have told that nigga, oh, all right, Wayne, hold that. Nigga, like, what is we talking about? We fighting. Fuck, I look like, nigga, let the ref tell me that. Nigga, fuck you. Who you? I'm trying to get you the fuck up out of here. I'm trying to get you the fuck up out of here. What are you doing? And these niggas said, man, you just stay focused, man. You stay alert. No, fuck all that, nigga. Let your fucking hands go, dickhead. You not doing enough. You look like shit. Yo, on my son life, bro. If I was in that corner, if I was Bob Santos, nigga, I'd have slapped the dog shit out of Barrios in there. Like, what the fuck is you even doing, dog? Pick your fucking hands up, walk to the nigga, get your fucking jab, pump 2s, 3s, punch in combinations, push this nigga back. His leg's gone. Huh? You made this nigga Pacquiao look like he turned the clock back and he looked like absolute shit. But you so ass, you not good enough to expose that. You hoe ass nigga. Get this nigga Barrios the fuck up out of here. Go ahead and cash him out. Yo, Rolly, get this nigga Barrios ASAP. Get him. Get him. You so fucking ass. You about to make Rolly Romero the unified welterweight champion of the world. Because on my son, Rolly will pack you the fuck up. Pack you the fuck up. I never thought that I would say this. Rolly Romero is about to be the unified champion of the fucking world at 147. This nigga about to be a legit 3-time world champion if he get in the ring with Mario Barrios. This nigga sucks royal ass, nigga. Everybody should be mad. Why the fuck y'all niggas talking about this performance got you hot? Who not mad? Who not mad? Huh? Who not mad at that? Who sat there and was satisfied with Barrios' performance? Who sat there and was like, oh man, he did good. You got this nigga Pacquiao on that motherfucking microphone talking about, I feel like I won the fight. Good fight. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. You look good, man. You know, how'd you keep your stamina so good for 12 rounds? I work hard work, good fight. Nigga, what? You got this, bro, nothing on him, nothing for him to worry about. This nigga was cool. Pacquiao about to go to the club tonight. You about to have this old Asian nigga singing karaoke at the club without a worry. No headaches, nothing, migraines, nothing. He cool. Holy fuck. Bro. Bro, I don't even want to say what I feel like Boots would do to you. I don't even want to, if Boots, I'm not even mad that this nigga Boots moved up. I never was mad in the first place, but now I see why you don't want to fight Boots. Nigga, you certified cheeks, nigga. You trash. You super trash. You made this nigga Pacquiao look like he was still the man. And he was fooled. Barrios, all you had to do was not be a nice guy. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do was not be a nice guy. You laugh, you smiling at this nigga after the rounds is over. You know what I'm saying? You keep tapping this nigga gloves. You listening to his instructions. The ref not saying nothing. The ref not saying nothing. That's like y'all niggas playing basketball. Y'all niggas playing basketball, right? And let's say, you know what I mean? You getting a little physical on defense, and the nigga that you defending talking about, yo man, stop being so physical, man. And then you like, oh yes, sir. Nigga, fuck you, nigga. What is you talking about? The referee ain't saying nothing. I don't gotta listen to what you talking about. You the op, nigga. You listening to the ops. You listening to the ops. That shit is crazy. I never heard a nigga follow a ops instructions voluntarily. This nigga, bro, you got back-to-back draws, cuz. One against a nigga who didn't even belong in a world title fight with you. That was a cherry pick. That shit almost went wrong. You got your shit rocked and everything. Then you come in here with a washed up Manny Pacquiao without his legs. Manny Pacquiao's best weapon was his legs, and he didn't have it. It still gave you gas. And you supposed to be in your prime. You 30. Nigga, you only 3 years older than me. What the fuck? Like, what is we talking about? That nigga, that's like Wilder without his right hand, giving a world champion gas. Like, what the fuck is we? Are we serious? That's like Eastside Cruz without his hooks, nigga. Manny Pacquiao without his legs. His old ass giving you smoke. God damn. Acting like you the opponent. You the champion. You're supposed to make an example out of him. You're supposed to make an example out of him. What the fuck are we doing? God damn. And you fuck my parlay up, you bitch ass nigga. You and Tszyu. You and Tszyu. Holy shit. Man, Boots would have sent this nigga to the morgue. To the morgue. With his motherfucking big toe sticking out the body bag. That's what would have happened. Holy fuck. On some real shit, they might have just robbed Manny Pacquiao just to save your bitch ass. So they could keep cashing your stupid ass out. Man, I thought Tszyu was going to get the knockout, cuz. I thought this nigga was going to come back with a vengeance. He let this nigga, Sebastian Fondora, he getting better with his range. Yeah, I mean, he was keeping him at the end of his left hand. Boom. Boom, boom. Like, he wasn't really entertaining. His defense still ass because he kept running into, like, all Tszyu had to do was just time him coming in with the right hand. When he shot that jab, take your head off the line, shoot the right hand. Sebastian Fondora ran into it every time. I think he broke his nose again. But regardless, Fondora's getting better with his range. You feel me? Fondora definitely was peppering him with that left hand, though. And I don't know, man. I think Tszyu's punch resistance took a decline, man. I don't think Tszyu could take punches how he used to before. I think that Bakram Mortazaliyah fight and that Fondora fight back to back, I think that really took something from him. I'm not gonna lie. And you know, I ain't even mad at them stopping it in the corner because the way that he went back to his corner, he looked defeated. He looked like he didn't have nothing left. He looked hopeless. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like you just look absolutely like you look done. You look like a defeated fighter. You see what I mean? So yeah, I mean, congratulations to Sebastian Fondora. Yeah, I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. Beat him until his corner didn't have any more faith in him. So, well, we can't even be mad at that. You feel me? But this nigga, I can't believe Barrios, bro. Like, what y'all think is wrong with Barrios? Like, what y'all think is really wrong with Barrios? I want to know what the chat thinking. Man, Slime, cut it out, man. I'm serious. What y'all think happened with Mario Barrios? What was it? Straight up and down? Like Floyd said? Silk Bando said Barrios is the Bronny James of boxing, straight dookie. Bronny's actually getting better. Bronny is actually, from what I see, it seems like he getting more comfortable with the game. He putting shit together little by little. He's still trying to figure shit out. He young. I'm gonna give him a pass. You feel what I'm saying? This nigga Barrios not getting better. He's absolutely horseshit. Just keep it 1,000. This nigga ain't here playing with Pacquiao. Bro, this is your moment. You know how many people like really wanted to be in your position, but they could never get it because the politics of boxing. Terrence Crawford would have loved to be in your situation. A lot of fighters that wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao and never came across this opportunity. This shit comes up on your desk. and you give that type of performance, what the fuck is the point of even doing 8 week, 6, 8 week training camps if you perform like that? And I ain't even gonna lie, Pacquiao knew you was ass. That's why he fought you. I don't think he would have came back and fought Boots. I don't think he would have came back and fought Brian Norman. This nigga saw how the way you performed against Abel Ramos and was like, oh yeah, let me get that. I need some money. I think this is a winnable fight. Like, shit, we about to go for it. And from what I heard, Pacquiao called that nigga right after that rumble, like, yo, what's good? Because he knew you was ass. He knew you was ass. But what disappointed me more than anything, besides you being ass, brother, was the fact that the Pacquiao you got, he was there to get slaughtered, bro. He was there to get slaughtered. And before y'all be like, oh, man, why you want to see Pacquiao go out like that? Because these old niggas all need to get the fuck off the block, bro. You stay up in the sport too long and you interfering with, you know, the best fight and the best in the division, you need to go. You need to go. If you don't want to leave boxing on your own terms, boxing will take you out on its own terms. That's just how that shit go. That's just how that shit go. If you don't leave gracefully, boxing will escort you out on its own. It happens. Shit is crazy. He said Pacquiao literally called him right after the fight. He knew he was fooled. Yeah, he was watching him. I was like, oh shit. Oh yeah, we need that. We need that. Let's go ahead. You feel what I mean? But I ain't about to keep talking about Mario Barrios, man. This was an absolutely shitty ass performance, bro. He need to be embarrassed. And on some real shit, bro, you need to just go ahead and vacate your title, bro. You just need to go ahead, go sit your ass down, go be a coach. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, you too nice, nigga. Like, you too nice. You got you a bad bitch. You got you some money, and then you feel like you ain't got to, like, you know what I mean, bring that dog out. You satisfied. You calling yourself Azteca, nigga? Ain't them Azteca niggas warriors, nigga? You's a fucking weenie, nigga. You's a fucking weenie. You ain't no fucking warrior, man. You be coming out. You came out with, like, all these motherfuckers dressed in, you know, they cultural gear and all that. These motherfuckers bigging you up. Like, you really trying to play it like you this warrior. Nigga, you ain't got none of that in you. You got no dog in you. You ain't got no spirit. You ain't got no warrior heart. Nigga, you's a fucking turkey, nigga. You's a turkey burger. Straight up, nigga. Fresh out the air fryer, nigga. The fuck is we even talking about? Supposed to be fierce warrior. This nigga fabric soft. Fabric soft. Softer than baby shit. That's the nigga who calling himself El Azteca. Super Weenie Hut Jr. Facts. Beautiful comment. Weenie Hut General, Weenie Hut Jr., Super Weenie Hut Jr. That nigga all that. All that. How tough am I? How tough am I? One of them ass, man, get this nigga up out of here, bro. And if you come from them Aztecs, nigga, you's a disgrace to them. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000 with you, bro. You lay an egg like that. The opportunity of your life, you lay an egg like that. You ain't like, let's say he really went for it. Let's say he really stepped on the gas and somehow, some way, Pacquiao starched him. I would give him more respect for that in comparison to doing what he just did. Let's say he came out trying to hurt Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case is, and Pacquiao cracking, boom, put him out. Pacquiao just beat him to the punch. He did what he did. He ran into a shot. That's boxing. It is what it is. You sat there, bro, and I'm watching you too. Like, you so ass. Like, I'm watching you. As tall as you are, they say you the tallest fighter that Manny Pacquiao has ever fought. You a 6-foot welterweight. I'm watching you lean into your jab. Nigga, you are a world champion, and you leaning into your jab? Standing up tall? Like, bro, who? I heard Bob Santos a good coach. I'm watching you jab. Bro, I'm watching you jab, bro. I'm watching you jab, and you like this. Tell me I'm lying. Heavy on the front foot, just falling, like putting his hand over his leg, over his knee. You begging to run into the left hand. Like, holy shit, you ass. Niggas in my gym why are amateurs with 1 or 2 fights in my gym got better form on their jab than you? Silks Bando said, no lie, Mark. Pitbull will go up to 47 and beat Barrios. I believe you. I believe that little nigga be round as a motherfucker, fat than a bitch, punching on Mario Barrios, and Barrios wouldn't be able to do nothing with him. Yo, he fooled. Yo, Rolly, go get that fight, bro. I'm telling you. This nigga, you about to be the reason why Rolly become a Hall of Famer. You gonna be the reason why. This nigga gonna get into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. You about to make this nigga a full-fledged Hall of Famer because you so trash. Can you imagine that? Rolly accepted an award for being a Hall of Famer, nigga. And the reason why he was able to become a Hall of Famer was because he became a unified champion against Mario Barrios, who retained his titles against Manny Pacquiao. Wow. Telling you. Watch when I tell y'all. They're gonna put that together. Then they're gonna sit and ask him, you know, would you give Manny Pacquiao a rematch? He was like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, man, it was a good fight. No, nigga. No. Nigga might really cook you this time. Because now he confident. He was unsure. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Manny Pacquiao was unsure. He didn't know what was going to happen. He just put in the work like he usually do, but he ain't never come off no 4-year layoff and a loss to get back in there with a world champion at 46 years old. Experience can't prep you for that scenario because you never that's new to you. You feel what I'm saying? So he wasn't even sure what was going to happen. But now that he knows that he actually hold his hands with you, and he know your IQ ain't there, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Pacquiao might fuck around and ice Barrios. You feel me? This nigga ain't no dog. I'm about to walk to this nigga. Yeah, Bella, we didn't want this fight in the first place. And Jim Gray over there talking about some rematch. Jim, go sit your old ass down. Go sit your old ass down. Get these old niggas up out of boxing too. Get these old commentators up out of boxing too, nigga. Fuck out of here. But anyways, let's move past Manny Pacquiao, man. I appreciate everybody that's in the building. 43 people in the building. I'm highly appreciative of everybody that has been coming through and showing love. You feel what I mean? This was a great day of boxing, in my opinion. We seen some good fights today, man. Shit, I've been watching boxing from 4 o'clock today till 12 o'clock in the morning. So it's been 8 hours nonstop of boxing. There were some good things that I had seen. Let's talk about, we already spoke about it a little bit, but Sebastian Fondora stopping Tim Tszyu in the rematch, man. Tim Tszyu made it to 12 rounds in the first fight, but a lot of people were skeptical and critical of Sebastian Fondora's win, considering the injury that had taken place in the fight with Fondora's elbow hitting Tim Tszyu's, scalp. You know what I mean? And he had a really bad cut, and it was just bleeding profusely over his eyes. It fucked up his vision, his abilities, his focus. You know what I mean? As Tim Tszyu was really pushing it, in the promotion in the lead up to this fight, that was the reason why things had went south. Sebastian Fondora, he did great. He downplayed it. He was like, man, bleeding happens. You see what I'm saying? This shit happens all the time. So he felt like he was the better man than Tim Tszyu, and that the cut wasn't the reason why he beat him. Cool. So they run it back in the ring. Tim Tszyu get dropped in the first round. So it just starts off bad off of the rip. I seen Tim Tszyu get hurt multiple times. You know what I mean? I seen his legs buckle, you know, especially when he was up against the ropes. I don't know why Tszyu was staying on the ropes so much, because at the end of the day, his defense is not up to par to the point where he could be comfortable sitting on the ropes like Shakur Stevenson did with Cepeda. Like, you're not cut like that, because you're really setting yourself up for failure more than anything. So the fight continues. Tszyu was making, you know, he showcased a lot of heart like he did in his previous losses and stuff like that. And even in his wins, you know, he showcased great heart. You know, he was stepping Sebastian Fondora at times. His right hand was connecting. He was landing bombs on Fondora, but Fondora was not phased. You know what I mean? He stood composed. He didn't panic. He stood relaxed. You know, he trusted his ability to take a shot along with, you know, his combination punching. And I noticed that he was taking a lot of damage in that final round. And I told everybody in the group chat, when I seen how the way he reacted when going back to his corner, like all slunched over, the way he like fell into his chair, you know, he just looked like he didn't have any more left from a mental aspect. You feel what I mean? To me, in my honest opinion, it kind of looked like Sebastian Fondora broke Tszyu's spirit. That's what it looked like to me. I think his corner noticed that. They noticed that his fighter didn't have any more left. They didn't want him to take further damage, and as a result, they cut the fight short. So I actually agreed with the decision to stop the fight. You know what I mean? I've seen people saying, you know, Tszyu, you know, he was cracking Fondora. Yeah, somebody like Sebastian Fondora, he gonna get cracked whether he winning a fight or losing a fight. You know what I mean? That's just the reality of the situation. But at the same time, yo, this nigga funny as shit. That's another troll with my let me screenshot that one too. I'm just collecting all these Jones. I'm piling these Jones up. This nigga keep putting like girl hair on me. Like you so obsessed with me, cuz that like you really sit there. You got a whole gallery. You got a whole gallery of photos of me, and you take the time to edit pictures of me on a regular basis. That's kind of crazy. That's a weird obsession. I hope you get the help you need, brother. Because that's definitely a man. Women don't do shit like that. That's like obsessive, you know, bundle of sticks activity. But anyways, in my opinion, I wasn't mad at the stoppage at all. I think they prevented him from taking further damage. And, you know, as a trainer, you're supposed to make sure, one of your main objectives is to make sure that your fighter gets home to his family safe. You know what I mean? You don't want to have no Dadashev moments. You don't want to have no Patrick Day moments. You know what I mean? That's like the ultimate worst case scenario for a trainer to experience. You know what I'm saying? So they did what they needed to do. I think it only would have got worse, in all honesty. And I think he would have ended up getting stopped anyway. So to prevent him from going out, you know, on his shield and, you know what I mean, you know, really losing more of himself in the ring, I think they made the right choice. But, you know, congratulations to Sebastian Fondora, bro. You know what I mean? He did what he needed to do against Tszyu. He retained his world title. And there's on the bigger and better things. You see what I'm saying? Tszyu, I don't really know what was there for Tszyu. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Of course, he could come back and get some fights or whatever, get himself back in the mix. I don't know if that Keith Thurman fight is still realistic at this point in time. You know what I mean? I don't know if Keith Thurman will be willing to fight him after a loss. You know, Keith Thurman after that money at the end of the day. And maybe that money done went down since Tszyu lost. You feel what I'm saying? You know, and then when you look over the landscape of the division, like look at the champions, you know, Sebastian Fondora, you lost twice already. You lost to Bakr Mortazaliev, so that's the two champions right there. Xander Zayas is about to fight, you know, for the vacant WBO. I don't think you beat Xander Zayas. I don't even know if Xander Zayas is gonna win, but he's about to fight that. I forgot his name. Is it Jorge? Is Jorge Perez? Let me see. Let me not be disrespectful. I keep forgetting his name, but obviously he beat Charles Conwell. I've seen his fight. Yeah, Jorge Perez. Jorge Garcia Perez. I don't even know if he's gonna beat Jorge Perez, but what I do know is, like, stylistically, Xander Zayas will be all wrong for you. You know, especially, you know, after these last few losses you done had, you will accumulate a lot of damage against a style like Xander Zayas, who don't got no problem letting 100 punches around go. You see what I'm saying? You know, who's the so there's a WBC, WBO, WBA Terrence Crawford. You duck Terrence Crawford. I mean, you ain't duck Terrence Crawford, but you ain't beating no Terrence Crawford. You see what I'm saying? You're not beating any of these guys, man. So I don't really know what's left for Tszyu. Move up to 160, but then you got to see guys like John Beck, Carlos Adames. I think you're in a fucked up situation right now. I think the best of Tszyu is behind us, unfortunately, but you never know, man. Boxing is crazy. We just seen a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao arguably beat a current welterweight champion of the world right now, coming off of a 4-year layoff. So you never know. But, you know, in my honest opinion, I don't know if Tszyu got any, you know, big moments left in the sport. Just my personal opinion. Go 787 said Matias and Teofimo finally met face-to-face and started arguing. Yeah, I seen that. Teofimo Lopez and Subriel had gotten into it at the fights. I posted it in the group chat for those of y'all who are in the group chat. I heard Teofimo Lopez saying in Spanish that Subriel looks fat and he can't make 140 anymore and shit like that. I couldn't really hear much of what Subriel was saying, but I'm assuming he was on the defense. Probably was calling Teofimo all types of pussies. I don't know. But, you know what I mean? Looking at that video, Subriel looks significantly bigger than Teo. Like, I don't know how tall Teo is or whatever the case is, bro, but he looks very small. So he must be like around weight, you know what I mean, which is good. But Subriel's not a big dude from what I understand neither. Like, I seen him, like, in a picture with my father, and, you know, my father's about, like, 5'6", and Subriel didn't look much bigger than him. I mean, I might personally be bigger than Subriel, but, you know, myself, and I'm not a big person. I'm only 5'9", so, yeah, Teo got to be small, but that's all I really took from that, man. You know, who taking Teo serious at this point in time? You know what I mean? Every time he get a huge opportunity or he gets in a prestigious, you know, opportunity, he always seems to fumble it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had one of the biggest promotional companies behind you, and you did everything in your power to, you know, get on bad terms with them, aka Top Rank. Then, you know what I mean, somehow, some way, you get within, you know, Turki Alalshikh's vicinity, and he starts, you know, giving you opportunities. You kept crying about how you wasn't making no money, and you know, you never came home with $1 million. Boom, Turki Alalshikh comes into play. He gives you a big opportunity on a big card out in Times Square against fuck. How am I forgetting this dude's name? He just said he'll fight Cruz too. I seen him on Twitter talking, but regardless, can somebody just name him Arnold Barbosa? Arnold Barbosa. You beat Arnold Barbosa. Cool. So now you had no problem doing business with Turki Alalshikh. You wasn't talking about the man country. You wasn't talking about the man religion. But then he lines you up with somebody that you have notoriously avoided for years, and Devin Haney offered you between $11 to $15 million from what I read, from the research I've done, and you said you're not going to sell your soul for that amount of money. Then you started talking about, you know, Devin Haney's a Muslim, and, you know, Saudi Arabia is like a Muslim country. Turki Alalshikh's a Muslim man. So you think because, you know, they brothers in terms of religion that, you know, they may fuck you over on the scorecards and, you know, shit like that. So now you would then Turki Alalshikh, he said, bro, if you disrespect me personally, I can see past it. But, you know, when you start disrespecting my country, start disrespecting my religion, you know, that's something that you can't find yourself like, that's unforgivable. That's pretty much what Turki Alalshikh said. So now, you know, Teofimo Lopez, I think he's trying to run over to the PBC side and get a Gervonta Davis fight. Little do he know, PBC been struggling financially. Seem like they only got money for, you know, guys like Manny Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez. That bag always pop up when it's them. You know what I'm saying? Or Floyd Mayweather, whatever the case is. I guess you got to be like a super ultra megastar to get, you know, a couple dollars out of them. But for the most part, they penny pinching. And fights keep getting delayed and pushed back as a result of that. You know, Gervonta Davis ain't been happy with the PBC himself. We're seeing these low-budget press conferences, and slowly but surely, we're seeing all of the stars over from PBC starting to deal with Riyadh season. And that's no coincidence. That's no coincidence. So, Teofimo Lopez, I said all of that to say, this dude is a habitual fucker-upper. And, you know, there's going to be people like that. There's going to be people that always find a way to fuck a good situation up. Their situation could be absolutely perfect for their life. And you know what's crazy? T.O., you got a son. You got a son. And trust me, I know all about fatherhood, bro. I'm one of the best fathers that ever walked this earth. And that's on everything. If I'm terrible at everything in life, one thing I'm not bad at is being a fucking father. Why would I, when I know I could really make enough money to secure me, my life, my son's life, his son's life, their son's life, if I know I'm capable of doing so, the last thing I'm gonna do is burn that bridge. That's my ticket to fucking generational wealth. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't really understand this shit, but you know, it is what it is, man. That's Teofimo Lopez for you. Some people, and you know, what fuck me up about Teo. He tried to play it, he tried to play this role like he's so intelligent. You know, he tried to come across as philosophical and you know, just so wise and beyond his years, and you know, like such an intellectual. The whole time he's a fucking idiot. And when you have to go out of your way to you know, prove that you're this intelligent human being, it's probably because you're not. G tatted up 215. He said, "What's good, bro? Did you enjoy the events tonight?" I did. I just went on that crazy rant about Barrios and Pacquiao. We spoke about Fondora Zoo. Got to chopping it up a little bit about Teofimo. Now, let's get into this. Bam Rodriguez, one of my personal favorite fighters. If you know, you know. Going up against the truth, CAFU. I would say his first name, but that's hard to pronounce, and I ain't really got time for the bullshit. So, Bam Rodriguez fought today. I looked over a few of CAFU's fights. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that, you know what I mean, he liked to punch in between shots. He's a counter puncher, you know, things of that nature. And I was looking and I was like, I don't know if that style that CAFU has is going to be really effective against somebody like Bam Rodriguez, considering the tools that he has. You know, Bam Rodriguez has beautiful feints, which throw off counter punches a whole lot. He's extremely precise. Bam Rodriguez is. I think he's like one of the leaders, if not the leader, in like jabs connected, you know, amongst copy box stats. And I think he's one of the most accurate overall punchers in the sport of boxing right now. So counter punching can work against certain styles, but when you got somebody like Bam, who's a master of getting himself off of the line and creating angles, you know, has feints and, you know, punches and combinations, and has enough power to put you out with his. He has enough accuracy to, you know, put you down with a good body shot, or, you know, hit you right on the button and get you up out of there. I knew that CAFU style was all like it was tailor made for Bam Rodriguez. You see what I'm saying? And from what I've assessed in the fight, I kind of seen where CAFU was trying to do. CAFU was trying to lure Bam Rodriguez in and get him to get a little bit reckless, like he's gotten against like Gallo Estrada and Sonny Edwards. Because, you know, Bam got that tendency where he kind of loses respect for the fighter when he gets comfortable in the ring and he starts to, you know, try to assert himself in the fight, and he leaves himself open at times. You know, I've even heard Robert Garcia say that about Bam Rodriguez as well. So I think CAFU noticed that. He did a little bit of homework. It was like, all right, I'm going to just counterpunch this dude, you know what I mean? And, you know, get my hands on him or whatever the case is. But, you know, what ended up happening in all honesty was he had went from, you know, playing that counterpunching role and, you know, just sitting amongst the ropes to accumulating a lot of damage and slowly but surely getting into survival mode. Bam's jab was absolutely phenomenal. He was placing good body shots off of the angles. Like he was shifting, dropping a nice little body shot. He was landing some good uppercuts. He was punching through and around the high guard, which was very impressive as well. Showcased some good speed. Bam did a little bit of everything today. You know, he was staying responsible with his defense too. Bam got an underrated high guard defense as well that he's able to catch a lot of shots with too. And was what I thought not necessarily impressive with Bam, but is very convenient is when you look at his physique. Pause. He has a short torso. You see what I'm saying? So, for example, when I was boxing, I'm gonna put this up to my level so y'all can see. I'm gonna put this at my hold on. Let me see if this is a good angle. So when I'm boxing, you see how my hands are right here, but I still have this whole section of my body open. And to really catch them body shots, I gotta sit. I got to sit. Bam doesn't necessarily have to do that because with a short torso that he has, his arms are able to cover his entire frame. You know what I'm saying? So when he puts his hands up, he literally, his forearm protects all of his body. So when he tightens up with the high guard, it's really hard to get inside the high guard, come around the high guard, and even touch him to the body because, you know what I mean, he's able to catch that on the elbow and shit like that. So he has a solid defense, you know what I mean? And he has multiple ways to defend himself too, with his angles. You know what I mean? He got some solid bounce on his feet. Bam is extremely talented, yo. He's extremely talented. And this is why I called it way before he fought for a world title. I said this kid Bam is gonna be he's gonna be a fucking beast once he gets up in them, gets up in them ranks. You see what I mean? And when he got that 5 days notice to fight Carlos Quadras, I knew that it was gonna be up from there. Because Bam is like really that special. He's really that special of a talent. You see what I mean? So he did absolutely phenomenal. He pretty much beat Kaufu to submission. He was able to get the stoppage. You see how, and Kaufu was moving around a lot and shit like that, trying to throw off Bam. But you see how Bam didn't complain about guys running from him. You know what I'm saying? You see how he just cut the ring off and proceeded to beat Kaufu ass. A lot of these dudes that's in the boxing game right now, they could have learned something about that. They could have looked at Bam's fight and really learned something from it. Bam didn't sit here and complain. I never heard Bam say, well, I'm not gonna fight him. He like to run. I ain't gonna fight him. He all he do is run. All he do is run and hold people. I don't got time for that. I never heard Bam say that. Never heard him say that. Kaufu was on his bicycle at times trying to hold on for dear life. And what did Bam do? Brought the fight to him, cut that motherfucking ring off, applied that pressure, let his hands go until he put Kaufu in a situation where he had no choice but to get fucking stopped. You see what I'm saying? So you can learn something from that guy. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Unlike, this one guy that was fighting tonight, Pitbull, Cruz, pussy ass. You know what I mean? He was so happy when he had that dude, Salcedo, in front of him. He was like, oh, I don't have to look for you. Oh, you're just going to sit here and trade with me? You want to play Rock'em Sock'em? Ooh, boy. I got a unanimous decision against a motherfucker who fought you on like 1 day's notice. And now you the WBC interim champ at 140 pounds when I thought you ran your ass back down to 35 after Rio schooled you. But, it is what it is. You might be in position to fight Subriel Matias, and I know that nigga ain't going to run from you. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how you react when your little ass is on the back foot getting punched all upside your head into the body. Because, Usyk ain't used to that. He used to punching on him. He's a little bully. You know what I mean? He like to walk the motherfuckers and, unload these hooks and just be this fucking macho ass nigga. He about to run into a motherfucker who more macho than him. And everybody meets that person someday. When you running around acting like this big, tough motherfucker, there's always somebody tougher than you. I promise you that. There's always going to be somebody stronger than you, faster than you, more intelligent than you. Usyk going to put himself in a fucked up situation, and I cannot wait because I ain't going to lie. I used to rock with Usyk Cruz, bro. I like the style. But how the way he was acting, like how the way he be acting towards certain guys, and he turned down fights with like black fighters. He blatantly avoiding black athletic boxers. It's just like bro, you's a fucking disgrace, bro. I can't stand motherfuckers like that don't take accountability for, they lack of skills and don't want to go in the gym. Like, instead of just going in the gym and working on their skills, they just letting people, they letting them yes men in the boxing game make them feel okay for being limited. Like, I don't understand that shit at all. Sound like they fighting outside. Let me find out. Matias gonna beat the Chihuahua little ass. That's what I'm saying. G tatted up 215 said people need to understand weight classes. I just had a friend say he want to see Bam Rodriguez versus Nick Ball next. That's fucking wild. That's wild. But yeah, we gotta educate them, brother. You know what I mean? They don't even mean. I had to break down weight classes to my girl earlier because we was watching. What fight was we watching? She was watching a little bit of the Usyk Dubois fight, and she was like, "What weight is this?" I was like, "Heavyweight." She was like, "But what weight is that?" I was like, 200 and up. And she was like, "So what's below that?" So I had to give her the whole rundown from 105 all the way to heavyweight. I doubt she remember it, but you know what I mean? We just gotta educate. You feel me? Says, what you think about Matias' post about Gary? I just think that Subriel is a brave motherfucker, man. I think that he really believes in his abilities. And he feels like he could have he could win against any of these dudes. And like I said, Subriel, he could be beat, obviously. He lost twice. But like I said, anybody that he goes up against, he's gonna give a tough fight for because his pressure is second to none in my opinion, especially in boxing today. You know, he's a very uncomfortable style to deal with. And like I said, there's gonna be times where he make you second guess yourself. He make you second guess yourself, and you know what I mean? There might be shots that you might get hit with that, you know, don't feel too well. Like he's mentally and physically draining to deal with. So I think that he believes in himself against any of these guys, and he ain't dodging no fades. So that's what I took from that. Silks Bando said, "What did you think of Pacheco's fight?" I did take the time to watch Diego Pacheco's fight against Trevor McCumbee. I do think he could have done more with Trevor McCumbee. I think he could have really did some damage to Trevor. I ain't gonna lie to you, Trevor is extremely limited. You know what I mean? I understand he's powerful. You know what I mean? He got some explosiveness to him and all that, but it's like almost like he doesn't understand range too well. He's not big on his jab at all. I don't think he understands the importance of the jab too well, or doesn't really care too much for it. He lenses into a whole lot of shots. Pretty much could see him from a mile away. And Diego Pacheco did a good job of keeping him at range. Every time Trevor McCumbee tried to lunge in with a shot, Diego Pacheco's height and reach allowed him to get out of range quite easily. Diego Pacheco played it smart. You know what I mean? He stood behind his jab. I seen him throw right hands. I seen him counter. Once he got a little bit comfortable, he started running Trevor McCumbee in the shots when he was lunging in. So he did a good job outboxing Trevor McCumbee. I think he understood that McCumbee was strong, powerful, dangerous, especially in the early rounds. So I think Diego Pacheco did a good job of neutralizing his best attribute. You know what I mean? And it was easy pickings for him. Like I said, wasn't the most entertaining fight. I think he could have done more. I think he could have even, if he would have tried his luck a little bit more, I think that he could have possibly stopped Trevor McCumbee. Because there was some shots that he had landed on Trevor McCumbee that you could tell Trevor McCumbee didn't really like. You feel what I mean? You could tell that he wasn't really liking the power that Diego Pacheco has. You could tell Diego got some power. You feel me? But he played it smart. He boxed well, and he dominated. So, you know what I mean? I'm not going to shit on him for that. A win is a win, whether it's pretty or ugly. One of the coaches that, I work with, Coach Sharon Baker, she says, I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss any day. And, that's how I look at the situation. Miles Jordan said, Barrios a scrub, not going to lie. Yeah, man, I vented my frustrations early up on the live. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah. It showed he's disciplined, absolutely. And that's what you need, especially at a high level, man. I've always thought highly of Diego Pacheco. I know a lot of people don't seem to be too fond of him, but I think he's the goods, man. I really think he's the goods, especially for his age. He's doing very well. I just think he needs that opportunity to really prove himself. But the one fight we didn't even get to talk about, which was probably the most impressive performance of the day, was Alexander Usyk knocking out Daniel Dubois in 5 rounds, man. Now, I had Usyk winning. Definitely had Usyk winning. I actually had him stopping Daniel Dubois again. But goddamn, that was absolutely sensational, man. I did think Daniel Dubois was going to be more dangerous this time around, considering the 180 he done made in his career. Getting them good wins over Herkovich, Gerald Miller, Anthony Joshua. He was on a roll. You know what I mean? And who knows what would have happened if he would have actually fought Joseph Parker that time he was supposed to fight him. But regardless, one thing we can't dispute is that he's been on a hell of a run, and he became a world champion in the process when Usyk vacated his title. So I thought that he would, come in a little bit more aggressive and stuff like that. But Usyk is just absolutely phenomenal, bro. Like, there's nothing that this guy cannot do in the ring. He did a great job with his jab. He landed a hard power jab in the first round that looked like it got Daniel Dubois attention. And I think where Daniel Dubois had really messed up at, man, and this is something that I don't know if they, really go over it, but at my gym, I always say that you always try to end the combination with your lead hand because it'll always put you back in position defensively. So let's say, like, if you're throwing a 1-2-1-2, you're really leaving yourself exposed for a counter. You know what I mean? You out of position defensively. So if you go boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Now you got to come all the way back to get on the defense. And by that time, somebody might be able to land a good counter on you. It could possibly change the whole trajectory of the fight. So I always say to always try to finish your combinations with your lead hand. So you go boom, boom, boom. So that way, all you got to do is just bring this hand right here and be ready to, catch and fire off something. So you go boom, 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 whoa, boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? Or you could go, let's say you could throw the 1-2-1-2 and then end it with the hook. So you go boom, 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 woo, woo, woo. See, that's a lot more easier to get back to defense in comparison to boom, 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 boom. It's a lot quicker. You know what I mean? And Daniel Dubois kept overshooting that right hand. And Usyk picked up on that right away and was running him in the left hands. And every time he got countered with a left hand, Daniel Dubois did not react too well to them shots. You know what I mean? I thought he personally had gotten hurt early on in the fight. I thought he had gotten hurt like 2 times before the first knockdown, and they were all because he was overextending on the shot. And you got to give credit to Alexander Usyk for that because he was creating the illusion that he was in range when he never was. You see what I'm saying? So he gets dropped. Boom. He gets dropped with a good shot. Daniel Dubois, you know what I mean? He still looked like you could tell he wasn't all the way tapped out yet. But then once the second after he came up off of the first knockdown, once he got himself back in the mix, Usyk created the illusion that he was in range again. Daniel Dubois shoots a shot. Usyk takes a half step back, comes back with a looping left hook and puts this dude, Daniel Dubois, out like a light, bro. Now, Daniel Dubois, you could tell once he hit that canvas that he didn't look too sure about getting up. And look, I already told y'all, Daniel Dubois got quit in him. So when you get to that certain point where you're okay with quitting in a fight, that's something that never leaves you. It's just a matter of time, or you just need to push the right buttons in order to get somebody there. And I understand he did a whole 180, in terms of revitalizing his career and becoming a world champion. But, I seen that Gerald Miller fight when Gerald Miller was really pushing him and he looked like he was, on his verge of, looking for a way out. Like that, I knew that Usyk, all he had to do was just put that pressure on him and feel like that there was no hope left whatsoever for him to get the win. And it will only be a matter of time before, he finds his way up out of the ring. I'm not saying that's what happened here. I think he was genuinely hurt. I think he got sparked, but he didn't take the time to really jump up and get right back in the mix. Like, he took his time getting up. He heard that count. By the time he was on his knees and on the way of getting up, the ref was already at 8. So I knew from there, Usyk wasn't going to beat the count. Dubois wasn't going to beat the count, and Usyk just became a 3-time undisputed champion. 3-time undisputed champion, man. This dude, Alexander Usyk, does everything well, man. He has a good jab. He has great movement. He knows when to apply pressure. It's like he knows exactly what to do in each and every situation. He's just his IQ's on a different level, bro. Like, it always seems like when he's in there, he's always 3-4 steps ahead of his opponents. You know what I'm saying? And all that all that talk about Usyk don't got no power and shit like that, man. Like y'all gotta knock it off. Say that Alexander Usyk ain't a great fighter, you gotta knock it off, bro. This dude is literally 6-0 against 3 of like the current champions at heavyweight, bro. Like the most relevant guys in the division. But when we talking about Anthony Joshua, who's a 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, he beat him back to back. And you know, Anthony Joshua, you know, he done been in rematches before and, you know, was able to get his titles back and shit like that. You know what I mean? He wasn't able to do so with Usyk. Then he goes and he takes on Tyson Fury, who was still undefeated at the time. Beats him the first time, beats him the second time, convincingly. I don't give a fuck what Fury talking about. You know what I mean? He was running around calling Wilder a sore loser, and here he go being a sore loser himself. Then he goes with Daniel Dubois, who wasn't a champion at the time, but then came back and became world champion and beat notable names. Fights him again, and then he stops him again. Like you gotta respect that shit, bro. Like he done cleared out every division that he's been in, and a lot of people are questioning what's left with Usyk. You know what I'm saying? Usyk said that he wants to come back and stuff like that, but I only think that there's, to be honest with you, I only think that there's one guy left that I want to see him fight, and it's like there's nothing else left to do, and that's Joseph Parker. I feel like Joseph Parker is the most deserving dude of a world title shot in the heavyweight division right now. Just my personal opinion, because he's been making a name for himself too. You know, we got to give him credit for the Zhuli Zhang win. We got to give him credit for the Deontay Wilder win. Why not see him in that situation? And he's a former world champion. So he got solid wins on his resume. And, you know, Martin Bakole. We got to give him credit for the Martin Bakole fight. You know, regardless of how quick, you know, how short notice the fight was. Bakole decided to get in there. He decided to not be, you know, in fight shape. He paid the price. It is what it is. Go787 says, I want Usyk versus Parker and Bakole. I don't even want to see, Bakole don't deserve it, bro. Bakole been out here bullshitting, bro. You know, he laid an egg in that Joseph Parker fight when he should have been, you know, when you a heavyweight contender, bro, just a contender in general, even if you don't have a fight lined up, you should always be in fight shape because you never know when you're going to get that call. So he wasn't prepared for that situation, but people gave him a pass. So then he goes and he fights F.A. Ajagba. Now, F.A. Ajagba, he's a good name. You know what I mean? He's a solid contender at heavyweight, but that should have been somebody that he could have beat with ease. With the tools that he has, there's no reason why he couldn't have beat F.A. Ajagba. Yeah, F.A. Ajagba out here looking like prime Landy Lara, boxing the shit out you. And you just sitting here trying to catch up with him. You can't cut off the ring. You fat, you slow, you tired. Like, come on, man. Bakole got a little bit of money. He wearing these, you know, all matching Gucci outfits, and this motherfucker walking around with fedoras on his head and shit. Like, he need to go ahead, bro. Fat ass nigga supposed to be training. He over here dancing in the gym. I don't even want to get in that bag, but Bakole don't deserve no shot at Undisputed. Just my opinion. Joseph Parker, he's the most deserving one. He's the most deserving one in my opinion. And that's all I would really want to see Usyk do. But, man, Usyk is a fucking monster, bro. A monster. It's crazy how at one point in time he was in Vasyl Lomachenko's shadow. Y'all remember that shit? When they was coming up. When he was coming up, man. I remember Loma was the Matrix and Lomachenko. He was doing this thing at 26, 30, 35. And everybody was talking about Usyk because they knew that he was, you know, they knew he was a beast. But they made it seem like Loma was just that guy. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Usyk became undisputed at cruiserweight, and then from there, that's when shit started to take off for Usyk. But I remember when he was in Loma's shadow, bro. It's crazy. Now looking back at it, he accomplished way more than Vasyl Lomachenko accomplished. Crazy. No disrespect to Loma, by the way. He accomplished some great shit. You know, unified champion, 3-division world champion, fought some good names, beat some solid names as well. Like, you got to give me credit, but Usyk, we talking about all time great status. Like, and I'm hearing people on here talking about, listing him amongst like the other all time great heavyweights. And I don't really like to get into those discussions. I was chopping it up with one of my homies. I was telling him I don't really like to compare eras because different eras had different circumstances and different scenarios. Sometimes even different rules because Jack Johnson didn't fight under the same rules that the heavyweights of today fighting. You feel what I mean? So I don't really like to get into comparisons, but if we talk about this era, Alexander Usyk, hands down, is the greatest heavyweight of this era. Like, there's no way like you can go around that. There's no way you can name somebody else. You can't name Fury. You can't name Joshua. You can't name Wilder. It is just Usyk is on a completely different level than everybody else in the division that has been dominating since then. You see what I mean? And I seen them trying to say like, Lennox Lewis and all that. It's like, bro, Lennox Lewis had his time, and while he had his time, he dominated as well. And his resume is one of the greatest resumes to ever be, created in the sport of boxing. So I ain't going to discredit Lennox Lewis or, Jack Johnson or Joe Lewis or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? They were all great in their own ways. You feel what I mean? And I'm not going to sit here and take the time to shit on, any previous heavyweight because Usyk doing well right now. Like, we don't got to shit on somebody else to uplift another. Alexander Usyk, congratulations on a great win. If he decides to retire after this, then, without a doubt, the greatest heavyweight of this era. But if he continues to fight, then, that's just going to add to his legacy. You feel me? So that's just what I think. Let me see what the people talking about. Go787 says the only fight I'm interested in is Opatai versus Usyk at 210 min. What you mean, like 210 minimum? Is that what you're saying? And then look, man, this dude Turki Alalshikh, bro. I seen what he said about Tszyu, bro. That was really corny in my opinion. You know what I mean? Pretty much saying that Tszyu, I told y'all Tszyu ain't good, and you know what I mean? He could just be a sparring partner. He could be a sparring partner in Riyadh season. Like, I don't even understand why Turki went out of his way to even disrespect Tszyu like that. Tszyu experienced something and has been doing something that you could never relate to. Took chances that you will never have to take in your life. He really put himself in those situations that you wouldn't dare ever put yourself in. So it's like, I don't really understand why you went out of your way to disrespect Tszyu. Like, if you don't like him, cool, but kicking motherfuckers while they down, while they taking chances to be great, I can't really fuck with that. You know what I mean? Especially when you never boxed before. All you doing is just putting money up for these motherfuckers to fight. See, that's what happens when, boxing's so fucking loose and corrupt and shit like that all a motherfucker got to do is put some bread into the sport. You know what I mean? Get some big fights popping in and they feel like they can say whatever they want, man. You got to put some respect on these fighters' names. You feel me? Did Tszyu get stopped? Yes. Did he look good? No, he didn't. But at the same time, he should be given his respect because he took chances that motherfuckers like Turki Alalshikh, fat ass. Turki Alalshikh only like 42, 43 years old. You got the nerve to be talking about people. You be taking your glasses off and your eyes be all black and shit like you a raccoon or something. Like, you look like you unhealthy, nigga. And plus, you be wearing them white outfits and we can see your titty imprints, your gut all out, man. Like cut it out. And we see you throw punches when you was talking to Canelo. You can't fight to save your life, nigga. So stop talking about fighters. Stop talking about fighters, man. Seriously. Motherfucker throw punches like Ronda Rousey. Y'all remember that video of Ronda Rousey shadow boxing? That's exactly how Turki Alalshikh throw punches, just like her. Yeah, like you look super unhealthy. All that money you got, and you don't even love yourself to take care of yourself. You got all the time in the world to improve your health. Not like you got to punch a clock or nothing, nigga. You come from Saudi Arabia. You worth millions, maybe billions of dollars, and you out here looking like that. You understand the niggas with that type of money? You can go work out, nigga, and get the best coaches, the best doctors, the best chemists. You can get the best people in the world to take care of your health. You out here looking like that, aging like milk. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But then I also seen Turki Alalshikh talking about he want to see Usyk fight fight little Moses Atama, whatever his name is, Atama. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? See, Turki, he's a clown, bro. Like I respect what he doing shit like that, but you can just tell, like, I mean, like he just super biased, bro. Like he not really for the biggest fights. He just want to put certain motherfuckers that, you know, he got crutches on in positions to win, or, you know, put them in position. Like, how the fuck you gonna say Moses Atama, you know, that's the fight, nigga? No, it's not. Moses still got to prove himself, cuz he's still cooking. Why are you trying to interfere with his growth? Like, what the fuck? Why is you trying to interfere with his growth, cuz? You feel me? Because let's say Moses got all the potential in the world to be heavyweight champion and dominate in his era. Let's say that. You go ahead and put him in there with Usyk. Usyk do something crazy to him. He won't be able to bounce back the same. That's a career that you ultimately destroyed because you don't know how to match make, or you don't like. How the fuck can Turki Alalshikh sit here and act like Moses is more deserving of an opportunity against Usyk than Joseph Parker? Who got better wins on their resume? It's not even a debate. It's not even a debate. And I never heard nobody ask for Moses versus Usyk. Never. Like, what is he talking about? You feel what I'm saying? It's too early for Moses. That would damage Moses' career. Moses too inexperienced. That's what I'm saying. Why would you even, like, if you believe in him, that's cool, but you should still go through the necessary steps to make sure, you know what I mean, he in a position to win once he get there. And I don't even like Dillian, but who's to say Moses even gets past Dillian? Well, that's the thing about Turki. He habitually overlooks fighters. You think he would have learned his lesson by now, because the few times he done did tune-ups, they turn into upsets. You see what I'm saying? You think he would have learned with the Deontay Wilder Joseph Parker situation? That backfire. You think he would have learned something from the Rolly Ryan fight? Like, he don't learn. He don't learn. And I think the reason why he mad at Tim Tszyu is because Tim Tszyu decided to fight on another platform in comparison to his. So because Tim Tszyu told you no and went into a different direction that he thought was better for his career, you mad. See, that's that spoiled, entitled, privileged shit that I be talking about with him. Because he got a little bit of that in him too. Turki a grown-ass man. A grown-ass man. Acting like a spoiled kid when he don't get his way. Like, when I don't give my son a fucking chocolate chip cookie, and he's like, and he start like throwing a fit and, you know, putting himself on the floor and just laying there whining like that. That's what Turki reminds me of my son, Micah Rosa, when he don't get his way. Yeah, bro. Like, they be cracking me up. Like, listen, I like what Turki doing for boxing. Let's not get it wrong. But, like, bro, I'm watching this dude. Like, they play it like this dude is like a god. Like, this motherfucker walking into the arena, and they recorded him walking into the arena like he a fighter. Like, I ain't never see y'all do that shit for Don King, Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, none of them. They've been doing this longer than Turki. But this motherfucker, bro, they got this nigga walking in the ring in slow. They got him walking to the event in slow motion. I'm like, yo, this nigga right here. Ain't no way, bro. Got niggas calling him His Excellency. Man, I called you, Excellency 3 times. I don't know if you heard me. Like, what? Y'all niggas don't know how to act when some nigga got some money around y'all. Y'all niggas become groupie hoes when that bag come around y'all. Y'all niggas become certified groupie hoes. I don't know, man. The way y'all act when money come around, I can only imagine what y'all do in private. If y'all acting like that in public, if y'all acting like that publicly when a nigga got money, I can only imagine what y'all do behind closed doors. Could never be me. For all that, I just stay living my regular life. Fuck all that. Ain't kissing nobody ass for no bag. I'll play the game, but not at the expense of my manhood. You tripping. Yeah, Ralph, that feminine oil looked like he wanted to eat turkey, wanted to eat through turkey draws over the cam and shit. Nigga was salivating on the live. Yeah. One thing we ain't gonna do, bro, we ain't holding no hands. Niggas tripping. That nigga Turkey was holding Dana White hand and was swinging that motherfucker like when you and your girl walking down the sidewalk or some shit and y'all swinging your hand while y'all walk. Turkey was doing that shit with Dana. Dana was cool with that. He was like, shit, as long as I get my check, I don't give a fuck. Niggas is different, bro. Definitely going on a stroll in the park, yeah. Niggas talking at the table with Turkey, rubbing niggas' thighs and shit. Like, y'all niggas crazy. Mike Tyson, then he put his hand on like Mike Tyson lap and Mike moved that John. Who did that shit? I think it was Mike. I think it was Mike Tyson. Like, nigga, what the fuck is you doing? It was one of them. Or it was Diddy. Oh shit, never mind. That was Diddy who did that to Mike. Never mind. J. Cash tripping. The Diddler. Yes, sir. Anybody got any questions, man? Anybody got any questions? In a little bit, I'm gonna have to roll out. Go pick my girl up and shit. She with her ratchet ass friends. You know what I mean? Is Fondora still a duck in your book? Yes. Yes. You obtaining title defenses or beating motherfuckers, bro, that don't exempt you from being a duck. You see what I'm saying? We just not gonna forget that, you know, he completely avoided Terrence Crawford. We're not gonna forget that he vacated his title not to fight Xander Zayas. We remember these things. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if this was like a fight that like we really didn't understand and none of that, like the William Skull Canelo situation, like, all right, cool. But like Xander Zayas, he's a known name. He been doing his thing in the division. He been winning fights. I mean, he pulled up on you. There was a little bit of intrigue. There was some interest in the fight, and you decided to take a lesser fight. You decided to take a lesser fight in Tim Tszyu. Like, I don't know, bro. He's blatantly avoided motherfuckers though. That's one thing we do know. R3 said, "Who do I edge the fight to, Barrios or Pacquiao?" Well, Barrios was letting Pacquiao do whatever he wanted, so it might have been like a 7-5 Pacquiao situation. To be honest with you, I think Anonymous said he had an 8-4 Pacquiao. Like, that's how that shit was really looking. Like, he gave Pacquiao a lot of moments, bro. He over here throwing punches and combinations at Barrios, and Barrios just sitting there. Like, not letting his hands go, throwing little bullshit jabs, and Pacquiao countering. I'm like, bro, there's no way. 7-5 Pac. Look. I thought Pacquiao did enough. I couldn't believe it. I thought them announcers was gonna say, and the new. I swear to God, bro. I thought Pacquiao had it. I was like convinced, like, bro, there's like I couldn't believe it. I was like trying to convince myself that like Barrios won somehow. I'm like, bro, there's no way Barrios just lost this fight to Manny Pacquiao. There's no way Pacquiao about to be the new welterweight champion. Like I'm telling myself, like, bro, there's no way. And them judges done saved Barrios for a second time. I don't know what they see in Barrios, but Jesus Christ. Barrios happy as fuck he got the draw. Yeah, he walked out that bitch smiling like Tank did. Remember when Tank was smiling after he got that draw with Lamont Roach? Yeah, niggas couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Let Matias get Barrios at 47. He's WBC champ at 40. That would be crazy. And Matias will beat him too. He'll stop Barrios. That's the crazy part. Silk's talking about, Mark, let me tell you something. You on your Turki Alalshikh shit? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Tank resume aging like spoiled milk. Sheesh. Anonymous Cooking, he said Barrios should never fight again. I don't even know why they saved him. He can't beat a 46-year-old. How is that investment worth it? That's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe they just trying to hold him on for Rolly. Maybe they trying to keep the ball rolling for him and Rolly to rumble. I don't know, bro. Shit is wild. But yo, I'm trying to tell y'all, don't be surprised if Luis de Cubas and all that, they lock in Rolly Romero versus Mario Barrios. Watch when I tell you. And Rolly gonna stop him. And if he don't stop him, he gonna stop Barrios, bro. If he fight like that, this shit, Rolly gonna be like, yeah. I'm gonna be breaking all types. This nigga gonna break Mario nose off the first hook he land. He gonna break and he gonna fry him. Al made multiple calls for Barrios and Figueroa. Yeah, I didn't watch the Joet Gonzalez and Brandon Figueroa fight, but I heard he got a gift against Joet too. Shit's crazy. Shout out to Joet, man. If that's the case, if you really got robbed, like the people said, hold your head, bro. Them opportunities gonna come back around. R3 said Barrios secured a rematch and another payday. You never know. Maybe Mario's made a premeditated business decision. Fight a close fight. Nah, no. I think we thinking a little bit. I think we overthinking this a little bit. You know what I mean? I think that if Barrios really wanted to secure, another payday, he would have dominated Manny Pacquiao because that would only have led to a bigger fight because dominating Manny Pacquiao would have made him a bigger star. So it's like, am I really about to put, my record on the line for Manny Pacquiao, make it possibly a close fight when I could easily just dominate him, probably do another you could still get the rematch if you dominate Pacquiao. That's the crazy part. Because one thing about PBC, they don't give a fuck about what the fans want. They just give us whatever they feel like is profitable. They don't give a fuck about what the fans want. They be like, oh, can we make money off of this? Sure. All right. Oh, it was Pacquiao. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. Well, it's Canelo. Let's do it. They always got a blank check for them dudes. What did Eddie say about Nakatani? No, I didn't hear that, Silks. Let me know. Educate me. Mazuma, what fights are on next week? I don't even know. Let me see. I think Xander fighting next week. Xander and Bruce Carrington. I think that's Emiliano Vargas. Rohan Polanco. Got some good Jones. So that's Xander Zayas week. Now that's some boxing on, thank God. I want to see how Xander Zayas rise to that occasion. If he get that world title, Puerto Rico gonna have another world champion, which is dope. And then we're gonna have the landscape on 154 gonna look a little different. PBC put Areola and Andy Ruiz on pay-per-view back in 2021. PBC don't give a fuck. That's a fact. That's when I started to know shit was kind of strange. Like, what's going on? Y'all all right over there? I didn't say nothing publicly, but I'm like, oh, son gotta be something wrong over there financially. Damn, they doing all this beeping outside. Shit cooking me. Hold up. Y'all know where my girl at right now? The Gaberhood. My fault, y'all. I'm trying to figure something out real quick. Coffee. He said Andy Lee came out and said, "Stop capping." Y'all was there when we wrapped the hands. Yeah, that's what I was saying though. He ain't need to say that. We knew that already. You feel me? That's why I was confused. Like, what is this dude talking about? I'm trying to figure something out real quick, y'all. My fault. Some weird shit going on. What you mean, who won? Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios was a draw. Bam knocked out CAFU. Usyk KO Daniel Dubois and Fondora stopped Tszyu. Young talent next week. That's a fact. That's a fact, Ghost. But yeah, man, Andy Lee came out and said what we knew already. Like, the rats were signed off by New York State Athletic Commission, so that means that they were inspected. The rats were checked to see if they were legal prior to signing them. So that's one. And then, Edgar Berlanga's camp observed Hamza Shiraz's hands get wrapped. So that's two people that are checking to see what was going on with the wraps. There was no foul play. I highly doubt. And, the commission, that's another thing. The inspectors are there while you getting your gloves put on. When you walk into the ring, the referees check your gloves. Like they watch, you know what I'm saying? Like they watch these things, you feel me? So that, anything's possible. You know what I mean? Anything could happen. There might be there's a positive, maybe, but it's very, very unlikely. And New York is known for not playing that shit. They don't play that shit, bro. They like the most strict commission in the world. Not in the US, in the world. And they ain't got no problem making people rewrap their hands. Trust me, they did it with my favorite fighter all the time, Tito Trinidad. His raps weren't in accordance to the rules in New York. They would have been legal anywhere else, but in New York, you got to wrap your hands a certain way. You can't wrap your hands in New York like you do in Vegas, Texas, Philly. There's a certain way they like it, and if you don't do it the way that they like it, they'll make you rewrap your hands. So, you know what I mean? I highly doubt Hamza Shiraz had some foul play going on. Because if that was the case, they would have been said something about it. Did I do an amateur show in New York? No. I've done it in Central Jersey, North Jersey, South Jersey, but I've never done an amateur event in New York. I've been to pro fights in New York. I've seen Tank fight. I've seen Broner fight. I've seen Jamal Charlo fight. I've been to New York a few times, but not for no amateur shows. Let's see. But all right, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and show love as always. If y'all could go ahead and hit the like button, that'd be very much appreciated. We had a great conversation today, y'all. I'll be back at y'all with another live tomorrow to currently discuss what's going on in the sport of boxing. I hope y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.